What's up guys, it's Kazuko here, and today I'm going to be bringing you some very shocking news. Dragon Rulers are alive again, and this is something that really sucks for me, because I totally got outplayed by this deck. And it's all four of them. It's the Red Ox, it's the Tidal, it's the Tempest, it's all four of them. Oh, and Blaster, of course. It's all four. So, you're probably wondering, if you already know what deck I'm talking about, then you already know, yeah, these guys, they have a lot of power and a lot of special cards that go along with them. Sorry about that. But anyways, so for the Blast, actually, you know what? Just to say it, it's Sylvans. Sylvans are really good, in my opinion, a little powerful. I can see where they might need to take, limit some cards to one. I would almost ban one of the cards they already have. That's right, I already want to ban one of their cards because I'll show it to you in a bit. But it's broke. Alright, let's go ahead and do the monster lineup, starting with the fires for Blaster. So Blaster's targets are the Hermitry and Koshmashru. I cannot pronounce that, I'm sorry. Komashrumo. Yeah, basically, so he's got about 5 targets. Red Ox has the Sylvan Flower Knight, which he's pretty common. I see him the most. Blade Defender, not too much. I mean, he's kind of a... I maybe, they might run him at like 2, maybe, but I don't see him too often. And then, Guardioak. Guardioak, I've seen him play it once. I see him maybe once at most. I don't see him after that. Then for Tidal, this is how I knew that they were doing this on purpose, because, fire plants, okay, that kind of makes sense. We have Lone Fire Blossom. Earth plants, duh, that makes sense. Water plants, I only really know Wadapon right away, like right off the top of my head, I believe, is Wadapon, so. But that's not the point, anyways. So they have Marshall Leaf, and this one, he only ran it at 1, I think, because he only played 1, because he pretty much milled his entire deck just to get these dragons out there. And, I mean, he had 1 of these and like 3 of these. And then for Tempest, Tempest has a couple targets because he also ran 2 debris on top of it, or no, 1 debris, I believe. And he had the Peacekeeper, and he had this thing, Sequoia. Oh my gosh, they gave them another level 7. Why? What did they need another level 7 for? This thing, you can spam out too. You can spam all 3 of them, no problem. And you can use the effect. You can use the effect 3 times. It doesn't say you can only use the effect, of, it says of this card. So that means that if you make another one, it can use its effect. It's so crazy good. And, I mean, that gives them, even with all these at 1, and, I mean, even with the 4 dragons at 1, and then 3 Sequoias on top of that, that's 7, that's 7 targets. So, I mean, that gives them a couple monsters. And they have plenty of targets to go for. They have plenty of banished material, and it's just crazy that they would even do that. So let's go ahead and look at what maybe makes this a little bit more powerful. First off, Aurea, the Sylvan High Arbiter. This is kind of this is like the first tip off that they're going to be a rank 7 spam deck, just by the fact that they got their own rank 7. And this thing can return cards to the bottom of your opponent's deck based on how many Sylvans you excavate. Up to 3. That is really good. That's really powerful to see. And that itself is just broke to have. I mean, I get it's kind of hard to make. And it's got a pretty nice, 2800 attack, that's not bad for nowadays. But still, just to get the return up to 3 cards. I mean, if you thought Tiramisu was bad from Madolches, welcome to your new nightmare. This is the new nightmare card. Next, they had this Mount Sylvania. It used to be called like Mount Shinra or something like that, because this archetype was originally called Shinra's. So they have this, which basically helps them, set up for their turns to get the next card on top of the deck to mill to the graveyard. Which that's not too, it's not too great, but it sets them up for their next couple plays. And here comes the card that I think should get banned, Sylvan Charity. Charity. What other card? Oh, Graceful Charity. Draw 3 cards, discard 2. Yeah, these guys are draw 3 cards, then reveal 2, and then place them back on top of the deck. Why? Why did they really need it? I mean, honestly, did Sylvans need a Graceful Charity? Was it that big of a deal for them to have a Graceful Charity? They have Pot of Malevolence. Make them go minus if they're gonna put cards back on the top of their deck. Don't let them go plus. And that's what it's like. That's gonna give the dragons even more power, and they do. They have way more power with this. They have more synergy. They have more flow. They can make Big Eye. They can make Draco Sack. They can make a Bistius Galakios, something like that. It's just so much power that these guys get, and that's not even including some of the cards. I'm just gonna go ahead and quickly show one. Lone Fire Blossom. Let's go ahead and take a look at Lone Fire Blossom. This card just got brought back to 2. Yeah, to 2. Mother friggin' 2. Okay, so let's read this thing's effect. Once per turn, you contribute 1 face-up plant-type monster to special summon 1 plant-type monster from your deck. So that gives you access to Sequoia. That gives you access to Hermitry. That gives you access to everything. And Low Fire is at 2. How can you even call that? I mean, how can that even be considered? Why would they bring it back to 2? I mean, if Sylvans didn't exist, I could see it coming back to 2. But then you bring this thing back, and it's at 2 now, and it's so good. They have so many plays with it. And the worst part is you can spam it with no, not this one. There's another card, it's called Anti-Spell Fragrance, or something like that, or something like that. You used to use it on, there's a plant, Necrofleur, I believe is what it was called. And it would let you bring out, like, Rose Queen, which lets you special summon 1 monster from your opponent's graveyard. And just, I mean, how can they break dragons even more to now make it so they use Lone Fire and a Breeze Dragon? They can use both. The thing for the Breeze Dragon, though, they would have to probably pick something along the lines of, I mean, obviously they can use Lone Fire and just go for a nuke with Black Rose, but then they also could throw in maybe a couple Tuner Dragons level 1, maybe a few Dragoonides, and this is so good, it's so powerful, and they can just spam these out like it's nothing. And I'm hoping that, I definitely want to see this get banned. I'm sorry. I don't think it deserves the right to be at 1. I think it's a lot of power to have. I mean, that drawing 3, putting 2 on top, getting the card you need, and then activating it, and then just going and just doing what you do. I mean, it's so much. They basically make it so you can excavate no matter what your hand is. No matter what, you can excavate. It's so dumb. It is. And you can play the dragons inside of it and make it work. So they also have those. I mean, I'm all for Sylvans being good and all, but if it's gonna bring back, the dragon rulers, they gotta get hit. I'm sorry. They gotta get hit somewhere. Because I think we all can agree with the past, 3 formats of dragon rulers. I think everyone can agree. We're done. They need to go. It's time. They've had their rule, and now it's time for them to be gone. So, there's my little rant on these guys. And I'm hoping that that dragon rulers just do not come back. I know it's not too consistent, but I've seen it, and it happened to me. And I wish, for some reason, DevPro didn't record, and it didn't save my game. I wish it did, but the spam power that these guys can do is just crazy that they can even do it. So, there's my video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Rate, comment, subscribe for more content, and hopefully I'll be seeing you on my next video. So, see ya.